Okay. Hello, descendants, American descendants of chattel slaves, i.e. black U.S. citizens. Welcome back to the 14th Amendment. It's very important and crucial, well, it's imperative, that you and we understand where we as African descendants are. We're not in Africa no more. We are in a land in America called the United States of America, which is a Union Republic. A republic. Folks, you hear it a lot out there. Our democracy, no, we are not a democracy. We're a republicracy. We are a Republican form of government. Article 4, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution says clearly that we have a Republican form of government. Therefore, every American citizen is a Republican, not in the Republican Party. That's a whole nother entity. We're talking about the state of our being as a national entity. We are Republican. So this is a Union Republic. Now, a republic means a representative government. Democracy means one person, one vote in everything, whether it's street cleaning or turning on the lights or going to war or the economy. A democracy has everybody has a say in the subject, whereas a republic is smart to recognize that we have to have representative government. Yes, we vote one person, one vote, locally, state, county, municipal, for that a person, but then that person, city councilman, person, or whatever, they go and they debate governmental issues, legislative issues, and they vote on your behest. That's what that's about. That's a republic. Except, of course, well, even with the election of the president, the numbers does not win the presidency. It's the electoral college. This is what a republic is. Now, that republic was born out of the minds of the founding fathers. Okay, those white guys back in the 1776 and whatnot. They were in a fight with other white people, the monarchs of England, the royal family. This is something that's been going on in Europe. Y'all go look at this. Europeans have always been monarchy. Well, most of it is humanity. Even Africa. Come on, we run around talking about kings and queens and the kingdoms of Africa, Ghana, Mali, Songhai, Benin, and Egypt, and Meroe, and all of those places, and Zimbabwe, all of that. We were kings. We ruled by the strong. Okay, went from family on down. The founding fathers said that's not a good way of governing, because that creates slavery, it creates poverty, it creates injustice, it creates a lot of bad things. So we don't want that no more. We want a new way of governing. That's why if you look on the dollar bill, it's it says Ordo Novo Seclorum. Ordo Novo Seclorum. That means new order of the ages, new order of the ages, meaning we are going to govern ourselves unlike we've always governed with monarchy. We are gonna, dictatorship, we are gonna govern by the people. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. That's who we are. Now, we argued, or the founding fathers argued, that a Republican form of government would make people free. It would give them life, liberty, the pursuit of property, all of those things that make you happy. Now, unfortunately or fortunately for this Republican form of government and the people in it that run it, when they wrote these laws, you and I, as living human property, was not included in the conversation. Well, we in the conversation, but we were not allowed on the paper. We were not allowed in the act. So we were kept out of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. However, they recognize if we don't fix this, we're going to lose a republic. So they created the 14th Amendment after the 13th Amendment, which ended slavery. They created the 14th Amendment to give us our citizenship. Now, as we talked in the other segments, there were 10 10 sections whereby the government is directed in how to maintain that citizenship that was granted to us. However, if the Republican form of government fails to execute the 14th Amendment as is intended, and we, the chattel slaves, for whatever reason become obsolete or inconsequential in this United States of America, technically, that will be the end of the Republic. That will be the end of the American dream. That will be the end of the American experiment. This has never been tried before. And what the Founding Fathers were saying is that at some point in this Republican form of government, we're going to figure out how to rectify the most glaring imperfection of this nation. Remember in the preamble, the first statement of the Constitution, we the people of the United States in order to form a more perfect union. The biggest imperfection of the union was chattel slavery. So, if the people upon whose back the nation of immigrants, this Union Republic, is built, if we are lost to a foreign invasion of people coming into the country, taking our 14th Amendment, getting our citizenship, and getting our 15th Amendment right to vote. We'll talk about the 15th Amendment in another sector. And if they do that and our vote is outnumbered by an illicit vote that came across the border unofficially, did not come through the portal of entry through Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, and we are outvoted numerically, that will be the technical end of the Republic. Here's another for you. If we end up destroying ourselves, now this is dangerous. If we end up losing our minds and destroying ourselves, that's the end of the Republic, because the argument was the laws of the Republic will rectify these social maladies in society. Remember something, chattel slave descendants. Remember something. Our ancestors, our forefathers, did not write these laws of the Constitution of the United States or the Declaration of Independence. These are not our laws. Remember something, y'all. They, the immigrant people of America, the people who have immigrant heritage, they brought our ancestors here against their will in chains as slaves, chattel slaves, to serve them. They did this. We didn't do this. They wrote that law to themselves to rectify themselves. You see, civil rights is not for us in the sense of civil rights. No, civil rights was for them to behave themselves civilly towards fellow human beings. Civil rights, their duty to behave themselves civilly towards us. Now, on April the 3rd, 1968, young Martin Luther King Jr., rather April the 4th, 1968, young Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated because of his beliefs in what he was doing. Now, the night before he was assassinated on April the 3rd, he gave a speech. The night that he gave, I've been to the Promised Land, and I done seen on the other side, and we shall get there one day as a people. In that speech, he said something very interesting that people have overlooked. He said, white people, all we're saying to y'all Americans is simply live up to the laws that y'all wrote. Ain't nobody mad at you. Ain't nobody upset with you. Ain't nobody hate you. All we're saying, just live up to the laws y'all wrote. And that's what's going on here. And so there's a group of people in this country, I don't know who they are, where they are, but there's some very decent, wonderful white folks with a lot of power, and they're waiting to exercise that power on our behalf. But they can't fully do it until they recognize that we're starting to wake up. We're starting to come to our senses and realize who we are in that Constitution. When that begins to happen, then power starts coming our way, and then the Republic can come to its full perfection, and justice shall be established, and then we shall have the United States of America American dream. The American dream, folks, is not coming to America, getting a good education, getting a good job, having a family, go to college, and then you retire on a great pension. That's not no American dream. People have been dreaming that ever since the world has been, to have prosperity. The American dream is that the American people, as Dr. Martin Luther King said, and I have a dream, that America will one day rise up and live out its creed, that all men are created equal. And to this day, America has not fully done that. They've gone halfway, Civil War and all in the 14th Amendment, but it's not completed yet. And that is the American dream. And see, one day, God willing, one day, I'm going to call for every American embassy around the world to have a curriculum on chattel slavery. And that when people who are immigrant candidates want to come to America to seek the American dream, they must go through the curriculum as to who you and I are. This land of immigrants, as they say, is built on our back. And they have to understand that and sign an affidavit that if and when they do become U.S. citizens, as part of that, that they will respect us as such. No matter whether we're driving a Mercedes-Benz or homeless on the sidewalk, they will respect us. And when we go into 7-Elevens and other stores and they're talking that talk, they will stop and they'll speak in English. You see, they owe that to us, every country, because without America, the United States, built on the back of chattel slaves, they would not have the technology and the prosperity that they have around the world and want to come here and do business with this great country. Uh-oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Let me get out. Let me be nice, because I'm not angry with the immigrant people. I'm not angry with the immigrant people. Thank you. I'm not angry with the immigrant people. I'm really not. I'm not resentful. I was. I'm not. Because they really can't help themselves. Because they don't know no better. They don't live here. Their minds in their own country and their own problem. That's why they want to get out of there. Okay, they want to escape, and they've heard about this land of promise, the American dream. My ire is focused at the United States federal government, particularly the White House, particularly the presidency, because according to the Civil Rights Act of 1866, of the 10 sections, 3 are ordered to him. 3, where he, the president, is essentially our personal super bodyguard, because through his protecting us from annihilation, he protects the nation. He fulfills his oath of office. So what I'm saying is to the President of the United States, sir, we need an executive order whereby this curriculum is put in every embassy, and every immigrant that comes to this country pays homage to the descendants of the chattel slaves. That's the republic. That's the American dream. And that they will use everything within their power and their wealth, because it took wealth to get here, to support our advancement to being full U.S. citizens experientially, as is enjoyed by white citizens. Because immigrants are essentially white citizens, because they came willingly. So that's what we want to do. That's the American dream. American dream ain't this other stuff you be hearing about. The American dream is about us. Because without us, there ain't no American dream. It's a nightmare. Enough for today. We'll talk again. All right? Thank you for listening, y'all. Spread the word. Go to the 14th.us, THE, digital number 1, digital number 4, TH.us, the 14th.us. Go there and treat that website like a textbook. And you study that and you go over and over. I had to do it. I've been doing it now since 2004, 2005, and every time I restudy it, I get more empowered. I know who I am. I can walk down the street and I can hear voices from all around the world. I know if it wasn't for me, they wouldn't be. You talk about immigrant pride, proud immigrant heritage. Well, you know what? Chattel slave descendant, you have a proud chattel slavery heritage. And the sooner you embrace it and the power that goes with it, the sooner everything else around you going to start straightening up. All right? All right, then. See you next time, y'all.